I couldn't be a doctor or a pharmacist.
This is Michelle Ngome, founder of the African American Marketing Association. Years before building one of the most recognized marketing communities in her space, Michelle was experimenting with MySpace clients. MySpace. Y'all remember the time? What makes Michelle's story interesting isn't that she started a successful organization. It's that she identified a problem most marketers never talk about: talented people missing opportunities and losing the bet. In this episode, Michelle shares how she built the African American Marketing Association, the biggest mistakes marketers make when trying to advance their careers, and the networking strategies that helped her create partnerships, sponsorships, and long-term opportunities. Let's dive in. This is Bree Flemings. Welcome to the marketing department. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bree Flemings, back to Content to Cash. Y'all, I got a boss in the building. All right. I got a president in the building. Oh my God, Michelle. This is a Gem Social sponsored podcast where we just like talking to marketers, content creators, influencers on literally exactly what we're called. How are you turning content into cash? But before we even get in there, we have to understand who you are and what you do.
I'm Michelle Ngome, have a vision to create the African American Marketing Association. We say AAMA for short. We are a collective of Black marketers, creatives, and entrepreneurs. That's who we support, and that's what we do.
And before all of this started, where are you from? What's a little bit about yourself, your background, right? Because that's great. But who are you? You know what I'm saying? Because this came from somewhere.
I think I stumbled into marketing, right? Yeah. So my parents are from Cameroon, Central Africa. I couldn't be a doctor or a pharmacist.
Right. Typical African and Caribbean. Yeah, I get that because that's how my parents were.
I couldn't fulfill the immigrant dreams. Yeah. I could not do that. I went completely rogue. But, low-key, I stumbled across marketing. I was a pre-pharmacy major. And then I had a good friend. He was working for the record labels. And he was like, hey, Super Bowl's going to come into town. Can you do some street team work for me? This was like an '04. And I was like, sure. Regular college student at U of H. I'll help the homie out. And that just sparked something. It sparked something. Like a time was had. But, got all of the guerrilla marketing, hands-on experience, and I've just been trying to figure out ever since. But I'm going back to getting clients on MySpace and writing blog posts on WordPress. That was my marketing efforts, doing stuff in the music industry. Took a break from that. Not even took a break. I literally quit. From that. Got my degree in finance, did corporate finance for 7 years. People were still calling me for work, but I was like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that no more. And then Facebook came out. Twitter came out. It's like something's percolating. Let me see what it's talking about. And then I got a degree in digital marketing from Full Sail University. And I started my marketing consulting company. I think that was 2013, 14. And the vision for AAMA came at that time, but I was too green. I was too young. And I was like, I'm starting my business. I can't do two things at once. Woo. But something kept calling me, and then we launched AAMA in February 2019.
That is amazing. And also, we want to say a shout out because we have been featured in some of your work, and AAMA's work as well. And that doesn't go without being said, so formally saying thank you for also recognizing even myself as a marketer. And also coming from Full Sail, right? That's in Florida, so yeah. What brought you from Florida to Houston?
Well, I've always been in Houston. So I've been in Houston since 17, 18. So I took that program online. And at that time, there was a few certifications. There was not a lot of options.
Right.
There was no cohort program. It was maybe a certification or two. And then Full Sail had a whole degree. And I was like, hey, let me try it out. And it served me well.
Black women love getting a degree. I'm already looking at another degree. I'm like, you know what? Who cares about student debt? PhD. We have never stayed away from degrees, but where do you think that we have a bigger gap and a bigger problem that needs to be addressed?
I do think once someone has a bachelor's degree, we can do a better job honoring different certifications, as well as just overall experience. I definitely don't think a master's degree or MBA degree is necessary unless you're going to do consumer, CPG, consumer packaged goods, or maybe finance, or, whatever you're in very, very specific industry and what that career trajectory looks like.
I 100% agree. I have my master's degree in application development, and I tell the same thing to other people. Like, you don't even have to go to school to learn how to build an app. That is all over YouTube University. What it really takes is implementation. Go out in the mud, go get dirty, and go learn and optimize over time, right? So that's interesting, because I've been dying for someone to just say it. Like, we don't need to get these certain things, but we got to get, we need to get more experience. We need to get more projects under our belt. Enterprise, mid, not just the small businesses that have a small budget, but like, you actually need the chance to get creative. Which brings me to like where you're at today now with AAMA. You have tons of Black marketers in your space. I'm sure they're always looking for opportunities, and I'm sure they're looking for clients, right? So if you were to go back to your org, which I'm sure you do, and you gave them advice on what really helps you stand out to leverage those, or land those enterprise clients, or even maybe a better job. Maybe if, they're ready to get their 6-figure job and they feel like they're just overseen. What would you tell them right now?
I will say, on the career side, honestly, to your point, getting that experience, I think especially if you are a new grad or you're a college senior going into your last year, 2 things. One, tap into your family and friends, aunts, uncles, churches, religious affiliations, any small business owners. Be like, hey, this is my situation. Can I do a 12-week internship, right? Paid or not paid? If it's not paid, I say 12 weeks is usually a good median where you can be okay.
Yep, it's a full quarter.
Right? But if it's paid, hey, put the offer on the table. Like, hey, I want to do this for 12 weeks for XYZ, right? And because when it comes to marketing, going into that hands-on experience, that's what you need. You need that portfolio. You need those writing samples, those video samples, whatever lane you want to get into, you need that portfolio, that body of work. And a lot of people are graduating with a degree and they don't have that body of work.
Ooh, that's a big fact. And I'm so glad that you said 2 options, because I was an unpaid intern before at a very valuable company. And I honestly learned more than the one that I got paid at. However, I always tell people, when your internship days are over, you have to be comfortable with asking for the right pay. Let's take it back to even like the idea, when you started this organization in 2019, what really was the hardest part about starting this?
I had a good friend at the time. She got bypassed for an RFP because she underbid, right? And not having that information, that education on just the RFP process, right? Which can be so layered. There's so many angles to talk about. But yeah, like my homeboy is like, hey, I got this RFP out. You want to do it? I said, no, because everyone wants to give you the RFP the day before it's due.
Look, that is exactly what happened with me. I was like, it's okay, I'll pass.
But I sent it to a friend who I thought she was better positioned. She submitted, and then my friend came back to me. He was like, hey, we gave it the budget, I think was $100K, and a white-owned agency bid it $80K, where my friend only bid it $30K or something. As a business owner, and I was like, man, there has to be a way, a safe space where we can talk about this, right? Or we can get education on this. So the big question was, where are the Black marketers' career outlook and opportunity, as well as business outlook and opportunity?
So you started this organization 7 years ago. Now you're here and you're about to have this dope summit, right? What's the greater goal? How do you want people to feel when they leave this summit?
Yeah, so we're going into our 5th year of the Marketing for the Culture Summit, and it's really about having, once again, the collective, aka the family reunion of marketers to come together to discuss the latest business and marketing strategies, trending topics that they can implement into their career or their business. Last year, the theme was getting to the money. We talked about from salary negotiations to the creator economy and everything in between, right? So we really try to have something for everybody. And this year, the theme is data-driven decisions only. So it's like, how can you leverage data? So I'm just trying to present that information and trying to get the best of the best into the room to teach us, and not just having a hierarchy of, top-notch speakers, but also that peer-to-peer learning. Like, what's going on with you? How can we collaborate? How can we, and I had to learn in this journey, support looks different ways, right? Collaboration looks different ways, but like, how can we support and collaborate each other so we can all grow?
That's great. But what went into honestly pulling this year's summit together? It's in August, right? So you're about a little, you're a little out, like maybe like, looks like 10 weeks away, right? Like about 10 weeks away. Like, what are you most excited about?
It's crunched. You know what? I have always wanted to work with for whatever, Nielsen Media. And we have a speaker from that company. So I'm glad. First speaker has been confirmed. He's with Nielsen Media. So we're going to dive into all of the consumer insights.
And I'm assuming tickets are live. So can people go ahead and start buying tickets now?
Yeah. So you can go to our website, or Eventbrite. Our website is aa-ma.org. But the summit tickets, I believe, are $125 right now, general admission.
Perfect.
But if you are a gym listener, fan, creator, ears to the street, woo, 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 woo. Promo code JEGYM for 20% off. So you can type that promo code in.
Perfect.
Do what you got to do to get your ticket. Yeah.
And that's a great price, y'all. That's a great price, y'all. So I don't want to see y'all chat man Kirby unless y'all at this marketing summit, because I was just making a video that we have money for the turn up, but we don't have money for things that are impactful for us. So when it comes to you, you wear a lot of hats. You got AAMA, you are the outreach director at Goldman Sachs, 10,000 small business program, and you have this summit. Like, so how do you protect your time and energy for yourself?
I do try to decompress, right? Sometimes it's me on my phone playing games, make sure the mind is still running, and, go get a massage, walk on park, gym. Like, you don't want to sponsor, I'm gonna go hit them weights. Like, it's a combination of things. And one thing I had to learn is, even when I do take time for myself, it's like not feeling guilty about it. Like, the work is going to be there, and what's for me is for me, period.
100%. Now, speaking of sponsorships, because we know that sponsorships have declined over the years. Like, let's say that a brand is still interested, though, in some way of showing up for this summit. They support it. Maybe they want to donate. Maybe they want to promote it. Do you take those kind of partnerships too, where it's not just like a monetary sponsorship? Like, what other ways can brands help?
Yeah, financial is good, but in-kind is good as well. I will say this, the tricky thing, whether it's in-kind as a business or individual, the thing is, I don't know what you're good at. It could be a couple of different things, right? We do try, if the sponsorship dollars are there, we definitely try to pay people. But we lost a large amount of funding last year, and since then it has been tough. But yeah, we definitely try to hire within our members and then our network first. Once again, if you go to the website, if you reach out to me on Instagram or even LinkedIn, there is a volunteer form, so you can fill that in, get in where you fit in. And I'm also open to any type of emails or any other type of communication to figure out what is a good way to support the summit.
I think that's so important what you said. It's easy to reach out and say, I want to help, but it's harder to figure out, well, how can you help me? That just goes back to that same thing I just said, positioning. So you've been in this space for quite some time, and marketing has changed time and time again. And now, unfortunately, fortunately for some and unfortunately for others, AI has made a big difference now in what marketing looks like. So if someone wanted to get into marketing today, at least maybe into the field, not necessarily like which role, like, digital, SEO, ads, etc., but just wants to break into marketing today, how would you kind of guide them on their journey to at least network?
When it comes to networking, I do think you have to come up with a networking plan and identify what is your objective of networking, right? So are you looking to get a job / career or your business, right? Two different objectives, two different directions. Say the marketing director of Chevron is speaking at an event. You need to go to that event and try to get in front of this person's face, right? And then more than likely, their team is going to be there as well. And then when you go to those events, always have a question. Come up with something. Have a question, stand up, state your name, ask your question, right? And then after the event, go up to the person, wait in line to speak to that person, introduce yourself. Like, I've gotten so many opportunities with that. That's how I got HP as a sponsor. Like, you literally have to go out of your way to be seen.
Well, Michelle, we're really excited to that we got you on here and that we get to check out how your summit's gonna go. Where can people follow you and keep up with your journey as well as the summit?
Yeah, the best place is aa-ma.org. That's the AAMA website. And then connecting with us at AAMA Houston on Instagram. And then my personal stuff, LinkedIn as well as Instagram. My last name is Ngome.
Ngome. So you can follow her on Instagram, you can follow her on LinkedIn, and hey, make sure y'all reach out. Like, now is the time to network. She's obviously open for partnerships, volunteer donations. Now is the time to introduce yourself, because you never know where your network can take you. And this is the founder of AAMA that we have on here. This is the founder of Marketing for the Culture Summit. So don't take this lightly, y'all. So this is your girl, Bree Flemings, again here from Gem Social, one of the number one platform to book small creators for your business. We got Michelle in the building, and we cannot wait to catch you at the summit, and I will be there. Well, there we had it. We got to talk to the president, the boss, Michelle. And one thing I really got out of this, and the biggest key takeaway, was that your network is still important, y'all. Y'all, just because AI is out and we're 6 years, maybe even 5.5, it depends who's counting and where you're counting from, past COVID, networking still is important. That's why your local chambers of commerce are important. That's why these business meetups are important. But what's more important than that is knowing where to place yourself. So that way you don't get tired of marketing. And let me remind you that networking has even helped me in several ways. It's helped me raise VC funding. It's helped me get customers. It's helped me get referrals. It's helped me get past jobs. It's helped me also value my worth even more, because like she said in the episode, somebody was only going to bid like $30,000 while a white agency bidded $80,000. And because that agency knew their worth and what they can charge, they had no problem bidding that, because they knew that they could do that. But often minorities, Blacks, Hispanics, and Caribbeans and Africans, and those who are of minority descent often don't know what to bid or what to offer or how to sell and what the price should be. So network, because it answers a lot of the questions that you are dying to know the answer to, and you deserve that. I'll catch you on the next episode of the marketing department. I was so happy to talk to Michelle, and don't forget to tap in to the marketing summit that she is throwing in August in Houston, Texas. And just check out the bio and below, because don't forget, we're giving out discounts. Talk to you soon.